Hello everybody! Thanks for tuning in for another Caterpillar Club virtual story. We are here at Ryman Gardens today. It's fall. This is one of my favorite seasons of the year. And one of the reasons I really love this time of year is all the beautiful colors in the trees and the leaves. But I also like it because lots of things can be found when you go out searching for nature treasures. Nature treasures are one of my favorite things. Look on the ground, you're going to find lots of them this time of year. I have a book that I like to read in the fall because it's a wonderful time to collect nature treasures and put them together to make stone soup. The name of my book is Stone Soup. Have you ever made stone soup? I've been thinking about making all kinds of soups at my house. When the winter turns cold, soup is my favorite thing. So let's read about stone soup. This version of stone soup has been retold by Heather Forrest, and the illustrations, the pictures, were done by Susan Gaber. Stone soup. There once was a comfortable little village nestled in the mountains. The people who lived there had more than enough to keep themselves content. One day, two travelers came along. Their coats were tattered. That means they were torn up a little bit. They were probably very old. Their hats were torn. Their dusty shoes had holes in their soles. They must have been walking a long time. Hungry and tired, one traveler said to the other, "Surely someone here can spare a bit of food." They knocked boldly on a door. It creaked open and a woman said, "What do you want?" "Please," said one of the travelers, "we are hungry." "Do you care? Will you share? Do you have any food?" The woman squinted her eyes and tartly replied, "No," and quickly slammed the door shut. Oh my. The travelers walked a little farther down the road and knocked on another door. A young boy answered. His chocolate brown eyes were sweet. "Good day," he said shyly. "What do you want?" "Please," said one of the travelers, "we are hungry. Do you care? Will you share? Do you have any food?" And the boy replied, "There is no food here," and closed the door. The travelers wandered wearily through the village, knocking on every door. But everywhere they heard, there was no food. They sat to rest beside a well. One traveler sighed and clutched his empty belly. He said, "If there is really no food in this elegant little village, then the people who live here are in greater need than we are. We should make them our magical soup." Oh, they had a really great idea. They were doing some problem solving. The two travelers climbed up the edge of the well and shouted, "We are master cooks. If anyone in this town has a big black pot, we will make the most delicious soup anyone ever tasted." The door slowly opened. A round man emerged carrying a gigantic black pot. "I love to eat," he said. "Here's a pot. Let me see what two master cooks can do with it." "Watch and see," said one traveler with glee. The travelers filled the pot with cold water and built a fire. Soon the flames licked the sides of the pot. and billows of steam rose into the air. Curious people began to gather. "What is happening?" the town people asked. "We are making an unusual soup," said one of the travelers. "It requires a special, magical ingredient. I am certain we will find one in this town." What do you think it is? All the eyes in the crowd watched as one of the travelers reached down and picked out an ordinary stone. Just an ordinary rock. And he tossed it into the pot with a splash. "We're making stone soup," he said. "It will be nutritious, delicious, incredible, and edible. But it would taste better," he paused and sighed, "if only it had a carrot." "Where could we find a carrot in this town?" the other traveler asked. "We knocked on every door, and everywhere we heard, 'I don't care, I won't share, there is no food.'" "Then perhaps we cannot make the delicious soup after all," they both announced with a sad shrug of their shoulders and began to turn away. Then a child timidly raised her hand and said, "Wait, I might have a carrot." "Excellent!" shouted the travelers. "Bring what you've got. Put it in the pot. We're making stone soup. This magical soup would taste even better if we had a potato." And a deep voice in the back of the crowd called, "I have a potato." "Wonderful!" shouted the travelers. "Bring what you've got. Put it in the pot. We're making stone soup." "It would taste better still," they said, "if we had a few more ingredients." "Oh my goodness. Perhaps," said one villager, "I could bring a green bean." "Well," said another, "if you're going to bring a green bean, I will bring a kernel of corn." "I shall not be outdone," cried another. "I will bring an egg noodle." One by one, voices announced, "I will bring a slice of celery. I will bring a pinch of pepper. I can bring a sprig of parsley. I might have a tiny turnip." "Well, why are you waiting?" called the travelers. "Bring what you've got. Put it in the pot. We're making stone soup." Look at all that delicious food, all those ingredients to go in that big pot. Everyone in the town ran home to bring one small thing to put in the pot. Food flew through the air and landed with splashes in the growing soup. Soon the huge pot was full and simmering. A wonderful smell drifted through the air. The smell was so tempting, people brought out bowls, spoons, chairs, and tables. They placed hearty loaves of bread, chunks of cheese, and bowls of fruit on the tablecloths. Everyone came to taste the soup and marveled at the flavor. "It's amazing," said one woman. "These two travelers made such a delicious soup out of a stone." "Out of a stone," said the travelers with a grin. "And a magical ingredient. Sharing." That was the most important ingredient, is that they all brought something to share. As the travelers left the town, they said, "If anyone ever wants to make this soup again, just remember the recipe. Bring what you've got, put it in the pot. Every bit counts, from the largest to the least. Together we can celebrate a stone soup feast." So, and there's directions at the back of this book. There's directions on making a stone soup. But you know what? My favorite kind of stone soup is the kind that I can make in my own backyard. or maybe you could make in your backyard. All you need is a pot or a big bowl or maybe just a pan, an old pan. Here's my pot. And of course, you need a stone. Mine is kind of smooth and rounded, but you could use any kind of a stone. Put it in the pot. Put a bunch of water in there because you need some broth. And then see what ingredients you can find in your yard to put in your stone soup. Look at here. I have some delicious pieces of spinach and parsley. Of course, I'm pretending to put in my stone soup. And of course, I have a potato. I want to put that in my stone soup. And maybe some, I don't know, what do you think? Carrots? We could pretend with any of those nature treasures that you find. Put them in there with your water, and then get a big spoon and stir it up and stir it up. Maybe you could even build a pretend fire. Do you have some sticks you could build a fire with in your yard? Set that pot on top of your fire. Stir it up, stir it up. Don't forget to put on the lid so that when it's boiling, and then maybe you could have a feast with some of your friends in your yard. Maybe you bring out do you have a doll or a teddy bear or something you could use? A brother, a sister, even if you're stuck at home, try to get one of your parents to come out and enjoy some stone soup with you too. It'll be fun. Until next time, have a good week. Thanks for coming. Bye.